Hi, this is Dr. Megan, and I'm coming to you today with a Cancer eclipse survival guide. So, if you know me, if you worked with me as a client, you know that one of my true passions is astrology and kind of the galactic sciences, I guess I'll call them. I think one of the most important things we can do to stay connected is to look up at the night sky and make a wish. And so I wanted to tell you today that today is a very, very powerful day to make a wish. We have a new moon Cancer lunar eclipse. So yours truly is here in Cancer energy, and I feel like I'm a kind of a stereotypical Cancer. I'm a mama, a caretaker, a good listener. Cancers tend to be nurturing. They embody a lot of feminine energy. They're very giving. On the flip side, they can be moody or high maintenance or sensitive, but it tends to be kind of the Earth Mama sign. And so I think it's really powerful that on today we're having a new beginning with this Earth Mama energy. So first, let me say, I think that the patriarchy, which is really just old ways that no longer serve us. A lot of times in the mystical traditions are always talking about releasing what no longer serves us. I think these old, outmoded belief systems are on the way out, and instead, what we're going to replace them with is gentleness, peacefulness, sustainability, love, kindness, generosity, cooperation, strength, power, integrity. So I think those are all things that we can get behind, right? So I think that this eclipse is opening kind of a portal to bring more love into our sense of self, into our home and family, and into our world. So I want to kind of touch on some of the themes that this eclipse is activating, besides this very potent portal that's going to bring in a lot more nurturing energy. But before we get the nurturing energy, a lot of times what happens is we get shooken up. So what happens there is, with eclipses, if you're not willing to make the changes, they will push you to them. And so a couple things come along with eclipses, usually intense emotions, beginnings and endings, and then the universe just coming through and giving you a curveball. So whenever I work with my clients, my favorite people, I really like to have them be intentional about the changes that are coming on. Great tools for this are making a vision board, doing some intentional writing or scripting, and really making goals for yourself that can bring more peace and nurturing and balance to your life. So just get really honest about what are your stressors, what are your drainers, what are the things where you're losing energy, and then have the courage to just cut all those things that no longer serve you. Because if you're not willing to do it, and I'm not saying it's easy, because some of the hardest things to do are to let go, right? Otherwise us therapists wouldn't have a job, right? If it were easy, if we could just do it, you wouldn't come pay me the big bucks to come see me. So with eclipses, they do come every 6 months, and so it is a big time of intense emotions and changes and a lot of upheaval, really. What I've seen in the people that I work with's lives is a lot of relationship changes, a lot of work changes, and a lot of times with eclipses, it presents as initially a crisis, but eventually it's an upgrade. So it can kind of have that crisis feel where there might be a little bit of danger. That could just be an emotional sense of danger coming from the changes, or sometimes we do have those very dramatic life situations that happen during these times. So I like to give my people warnings around the times when there's high anxiety, and I think this definitely is one. So it's a time to be really kind to yourself, do a little self-care, kind of find that inner mother where you can be gentle and nurturing, accepting and validating to yourself. Those are all good. That really is the feel of the eclipse. This eclipse is supposed to bring something, a new positive beginning, a lot around family and home life. So think about what your perfect home would be like, how to bring harmony into your relationships, into your home life, what kind of changes would make you be a more peaceful person, and just kind of think about what are the things that you would like to see happen in the next 6 months or 2 years, or even sometimes it initiates a longer cycle like 10 years. So think about those things. If you're one of those people who's a change resistor and the universe is just giving you, the universal smackdown, just, try to, maybe consult a professional. What we used to say in DBT is, if you can't make it better, don't make it worse. So in times of crisis, try not to act out. Try not to be all or nothing with it. Just, they say in general with eclipses, if you cannot make any major life decisions, that generally is good, because it can be a very confusing time because the emotions run high, and sometimes that disconnects us from logic. Also, we've got a Mercury retrograde coming, which I used to grow up with my mom warning me of Mercury retrograde, and I thought it was cliche at the time, but sure enough, you turn into your mom one day, and here I am warning everybody about a Mercury retrograde. So, there's lots of stuff out there. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but what I like to think of with Mercury retrograde is it's a big slowdown. A lot of times we do have to work harder because we're resisting that natural tendency to kind of slow down. And it's a time to go within. So if there's ever a time to do some intentions, some manifesting, to give yourself a day off, today is the day. But particularly, it's a great day of fertility. If you think about the Empress card, anything that brings in new projects, new relationships, new babies, new homes, new jobs, new opportunities to connect, and most of all, new opportunities to heal our planet. If you'd like more therapy tidbits and mystical information, please feel free to follow me at rightonbrain.com.